If you're a fan of gourmand fragrances, let me tell you, we have a real treat here. This one is the brand new fragrance from the brand Scentologia. And I do have one other from the brand, but this is the brand new fragrance, absolute newness. This one is called Lactonic. Now, if you know anything about lactonic perfumes, you know that they smell quite milky. We have Fueguia Quilombo. The brand is called Fueguia. It's an Argentinian brand. We also have Blanche Bête by Liquide Imaginaire. Love that stuff. We have Her Confession by Latafa. We have Sogno in Rosso by Valentino. We have a lot of milky perfumes, Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana, also Mouillet by Einache Parfum. There is a lactonic craze, right? People love the smell of milk in perfumes. I don't know what it is. But I know in this fragrance, it works so well. So one of the perfumers here is Maurice Roussel. And he's worked on fragrances for Lempica. He's worked on fragrances for Frederic Malle. He's done so many masterpieces, everything from Uncut Gem, which in my opinion is a masterpiece. Okay, you can crucify me if you'd like. I know a lot of people are not crazy about that fragrance. He's also done Muscat Jour and just so many gems, perfumes for Chalony. Well, here we have a beautiful gourmand. And this one is not just about the milk. Yes, there is this milky accord in here, but there's also, I think, almond and pistachio and sandalwood and ylang-ylang. So there's a lot else happening in this fragrance. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on this brand new release in just a little bit. But before I dive into the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me, and it helps tremendously with the visibility and discovery of this channel so that I can share this passion with more people. Thank you so, so much for assisting with that. So I have it sprayed now. I sprayed it about 10-15 minutes ago. And what I can tell you is that this is a very rich, sweet, gourmand, decadent vanilla and milk perfume. What are going to be the main notes? I just want to simplify it for you guys as easy as possible. You're going to get vanilla, you're going to get milk, you're going to get caramel, you're going to get almond, and a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of pistachio. And I will say, I'm personally also getting this creamy, rich sandalwood texture in the dry down. And you know, sandalwood is a woodsy note that smells sweet. It has a vanillic overtone, but it also smells quite creamy. It's not like cedarwood, which is sharp and peppery. It's not like, cashmere wood, which is very silky. Sandalwood can smell a little silky as well, but the preponderance of that vanillic overtone is really what sets it apart from other woodsy ingredients. So this is a sweet perfume. It is sweet all the way through. There's no denying that. It is unquestionable. So you have to be a fan of gourmands to really appreciate this fragrance. So now the question is going to be, it's summer. I want to wear something fresh, maybe floral, maybe jasmine, maybe tuberose, maybe gardenia, maybe citrus. I get it. Is this one that I would necessarily wear in the summertime? I think it's really going to shine in the spring and in the fall. It's not too strong or too rich of an olfactive profile that I would say wait for the winter time to wear this one. No. I think this one for those intermediary seasons is really going to shine. So spring, fall, I think this is going to be great. But it's also not an overly sweet, syrupy, sticky gourmand that it's going to be super cloying in the hotter weather. No, there's actually a bit of Lily of the Valley in here as well. Muguet, Lily of the Valley, whatever you want to call it. This is a beautiful, clean, floral presence that you're going to get in the heart, but you're also going to get a lot of that vanilla, the caramel, that lactonic richness. And you know what's interesting? You're going to get the milk in here, but it's not super photorealistic. I think if you're going to smell this fragrance expecting it to smell like straight up milk, you're not going to get that. And you may be disappointed. But if you go into this with the expectation that this is going to be a well-balanced gourmand with a milky facet, then I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to fall in love with it. So yes, if you're a fan of perfumes like Vanilla Voyage, if you're a fan of perfumes like Bianco Latte, if you're a fan of perfumes like That Girl Viral Vanilla by Okja, if you're a fan of those sweet, vanilla caramel and milk perfumes, this is also one that you're really, really going to enjoy. So on the back of the box here, it says, a drop of senses. Scentologia is the art of remembrance, where every drop will create its story and where art and science will unite to make an unforgettable journey. And it definitely has like this scientific motif. You see the description here on the front. Actually, if you open the box, there's a sleeve. So the presentation is actually quite nice. A lot of attention to detail. You see the chemistry designs here on the inside, and the bottle also comes inside a pouch, which I actually put off to the side. So the presentation on these fragrances is super nice, and for a niche brand, it's not overpriced, which is good. I think I will be buying more in the future. But Scentologia Lactonic is gorgeous. It is a beautiful fragrance, but you have to be a fan of gourmands. The caramel is not overly salty. The vanilla is not overly strong to the point where it's boozy. I know a lot of vanilla perfumes can lean in that direction. That's not the case with this one. But it's a very smooth, subtle, velvety fragrance with a clean white floral personality to just cut apart that sweetness so that it's not overbearing, it's not cloying. This is great for, an evening out in the summertime. This is also great to layer with something else. So if you have maybe a very strong jasmine or gardenia perfume, if you have something like Voce Viva by Valentino or Prada Paradox, or Born in Roma by Valentino, or Ranin by Astaf, which is Lattafa's sister brand, you can spray that on top of this fragrance. And this one will give it a hint of sweetness in the dry down that I think is going to blend very nicely with another clean white floral fragrance. And I just think it's a great fragrance, but you have to be a gourmand lover. This one is sweet without it being super strong or super cloying, So in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I mentioned like 4 or 5 other lactonic fragrances at the beginning of this review. This one smells nothing like any of those, but I said if you're a fan of those profiles, chances are you're also going to enjoy this fragrance. There's also another perfume called Vanilla Sky that I think you might really enjoy if you like this one. Longevity on this fragrance, like 7 hours. So it wasn't super long lasting, but it is average given the concentration, which I believe is eau de parfum. And yeah, it is going to be an eau de parfum if I'm not mistaken. It's interesting how it's almost impossible to find on this bottle. Is it on the bottom? Yes, it is on the bottom. Eau de parfum is almost impossible to find. In terms of the longevity on this, I said longevity is 7 hours. Projection on this, also quite subtle. I would say at an arm's length for like 45 minutes to an hour. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5, a skin scent right around hour 7, which is another reason why I say I think this one would be fantastic for layering. In terms of the versatility, perfectly unisex. I can see ladies really enjoying this fragrance, but I will stand by what I say. I think it's perfectly unisex just because caramel, vanilla, those ingredients, almond even, they do come across as being quite androgynous. I think this one is going to be great for the spring and fall, and I think this is going to be great for an evening. Now, it doesn't convey professionalism per se. I think it conveys more of like a fun, lighthearted, playful side of things, a bit flirty as well because of the sweetness. So you might want to wear this on a date or a romantic outing. And as far as the presentation is concerned, very simple presentation with the typeface on the font here and the presentation on the bottle. Almost gives Le Labo vibes, but it's changed up just enough so that it has acquired its own identity. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're a fan of some of the sweeter profiles on the market, you love your gourmands, you love vanilla and caramel and milky perfumes, Lactonic by Scentologia is one that you have to try. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me today. That was my review of the brand new Lactonic by Scentologia. Have you tried this brand? Have you tried anything from this brand? If so, let me know what you think. Drop your comment down below. I always love hearing from you. I love the interaction. And of course, if you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.